Good afternoon and welcome to the Flight Day 11 STS-88 mission status briefing. With us today to discuss Endeavour's undocking from the International Space Station, we have Bob Castle, the lead flight director for the STS-88 mission, and joining him, Frank Culbertson, the International Space Station Program Deputy Manager for Operations. We will have statements from both gentlemen and then we'll take your questions. Bob?
Okay, well, status-wise, it was another extremely good day. The assembly part of the STS-88 mission was completed today with the undocking of Endeavour from the International Space Station. We undocked exactly on time at the opening of the window, which was at 2:24 p.m. local time. Everything went exactly per the plan. You saw the video. The fly-around went very well. Propellant usage during the fly-around was pretty much on the money. We've then since separated from the station, and we finished up a special test we were doing. The crew's got a little rest time right now. The rest of the day we're going to be picking up with some activities, really getting ready for tomorrow, which is another secondary payload day. The major thing we're doing today will be deploying the SAC-A secondary payload this afternoon, and we'll be doing some other minor activities getting ready. Tomorrow will be flight control system checkout, cabin stow, as well as the deploy of the MightySat payload, which will take place tomorrow. Again, everything is going very well on the shuttle. The only thing we picked up anomaly-wise is we've had yet another payload bay floodlight fail. We've had several of these fail on past flights. I think we may have collected the most on a single flight this time. We've got 5 out of the 7 now failed. That's not a problem. There's no particular need for those lights during the rest of the mission, so we'll fix them when we turn the vehicle around. As far as the station, everything is going per plan. When I walked out of the control center, the attitude control system was being activated, and the attitude reference frame was being established. That all appears to be working exactly per plan. The communication systems and all the computer systems on both Zarya and Unity, both US and Russian segments, are working correctly. We're getting very good communications using the early comm system. It's all working quite well. So that part of the mission, again, the assembly part is over. The shuttle has got another day on orbit, and we're looking now for landing at 9:56 local time on Tuesday. It's 9:56 p.m. local at the Kennedy Space Center, and John Shannon will be around tomorrow to tell you more details about that. It's been a very good mission. I'm very happy with the way everything has turned out, and looking forward to the next assembly mission. Right?
Thank you very much, Bob. As Bob said, everyone is very happy about what has gone on the last few days. In fact, I know you're going to ask me anyway, so I'll tell you the mood in the control center and in the back rooms is festive. People are very excited about having released the shuttle to other duties as assigned and begun the space station mission with Zarya and Unity flying together. It is, I think, a very historic day in the history of the space program, the history of aviation, the history of this world. If you look back on what we've done the last few days, and you think of those images of the 2 small figures at the top of that tower of space station sticking out the payload bay of the shuttle, and realize that as large as that looks and as small as they look there in that image, that's just the beginning, and that's just a small portion of what's going to be flying in the next few years. And we're going to get used to seeing more and more hardware in space with people crawling around on it routinely, fixing things, building things, assembling things, and doing what we have been wanting to do in space for a long time, and that's build a workplace and a research place that we can operate in safely and efficiently. I believe, in fact, when I was looking at them climbing around on that hardware, I'm thinking they are really standing on the shoulders of giants. The people who have been working towards this day for many, many years, beginning way back in December 95 years ago when the Wright brothers flew the first airplane and dreamed of people flying for long periods of time, and advancing from that to now, it's been an amazing journey. And this is, I think, a fork in the road in which we will travel down for many, many years. I believe that this hardware is going to be the foundation of what will put humanity in space forever. There will always be people off the face of the planet, I believe. Maybe now, certainly once we start manning the space station. 30 years ago this month was when Apollo 8 flew around the moon for the first time. And I believe that is another stepping stone that was significant in allowing us to go where we did in the Apollo program, I think this stepping stone is just as significant as that. And December has been a good month for the space program. And just as the Apollo astronauts flew over Christmas, which is an unusual event in the space program, very common in the space station program that we have been working with, the Mir, we now have hardware that will be flying over Christmas. And despite the fact that the shuttle will land very soon, and we're looking forward to the return of the crew that did such a great job on that mission, our hardware will be flying over Christmas. Our people will be working and monitoring that flight, and we will be flying over many Christmases to come. And that's a new way of doing business in NASA and in this space program, and in thinking about what we're doing off this planet. And I think that when you wake up Christmas morning, those of us in the program, and enjoy your time with your family and look back on what we've accomplished this year, I think you can be very proud of it. And I hope that you get the chance to go outside either early in the morning or late at night and see that bright new star flying overhead of Zarya and Unity together, because it's just the beginning. And very soon we'll see it grow brighter and brighter in the sky as we continue to build on it. This is a very exciting day for us. It's been a very exciting 4 weeks as we prepared for the launch of Zarya and the launch of Unity, the launch of Endeavour with the deployment of Unity. And it's going to just continue to get better and better. In summary, this mission could not have gone any better. The team that worked together in mission control, both flight control centers, both flight control rooms here in Houston, the Russian partnership between Krikalev, Energia, and the Russian Space Agency, all the people that built the hardware from Boeing, Krikalev, and others that provided the components. Everyone must be very proud of what they've done. And seeing it all come together and operate so well, the software actually talked to the different computers, the lights come on, the lights stay on, all these things. In fact, Bob, our lights are still burning, by the way. All these things are I think, a tremendous testament to what people can do when they put their mind to it. And despite all the difficulties of the uncertainty of the program, the funding, and all the difficulties of putting all this technology together and testing it, the people responsible for the hardware have done a terrific job. The people who are operating it have done a terrific job, and we're looking forward to a wonderful 1999, and I hope everybody gets a chance to reflect on that as we go into the holiday season and be happy about what they've done this year, because we've got a lot more to come, more challenges, but we've set a tremendous standard with this mission between the shuttle and station program team. I believe that it's going to be difficult to better this mission, but we're sure going to try. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll start here with questions. Marcia?
Marcia Dunn, Associated Press, for either or both. The astronauts said before the flight how nervous they were, how apprehensive, so did both of you, and yet everything went so perfectly. And how do you explain that? Was it the extra year that they had to train? Was this, and do you think, you said this set the standard, can they all be so good as this?
They can all be as good as this. It depends on a lot of preparation and a lot on the quality of the hardware that we get, which obviously is very good. It depends on the training. It depends on all the elements that go into making a space mission. And I suppose there's a tiny bit of luck that goes into that too, but you make your own luck, I believe. And in general, people have been very attentive to detail. They have been very much quality and safety minded, and they have the mission in mind as they go through both the development of the hardware and the operation. And I think that this is the way people operate in this program. Shuttle has matured that process very well. Shuttle is very reliable, a very well orchestrated program that provides a reliable transportation system to orbit. Station program is trying to live up to that mark and trying to build a station that will be there when people arrive and be operable. And Bob probably has some things to say about that too, because what mission operations does is a major part of the success that we have here.
As far as you saying, well, everyone was a little nervous, a little apprehensive, again, I characterize that the station era is a new era. This was probably one of the most complex, it's easily among the most complex shuttle missions we've ever flown, so you tend to be nervous and apprehensive. You want to get prepared for it. It's one of the simplest station assembly missions. They all get a little harder from here on out. I think that's part of the game. You're apprehensive. That means you work hard. That means you study hard. That means you pay attention to all the detail. and then things tend to go very well. The day that I'm not a little apprehensive and not a little scared when I walk into mission control is the day I shouldn't be there, and the same thing for the crew. Any astronaut who's not a little apprehensive and a little scared when he goes up to the shuttle shouldn't be flying. We all ought to be a little bit nervous and pay attention. You do much better that way.
And for Frank, you addressed this before the flight, but do you have any new word on Mir's orbit, or whether it's going to be raised or continue to deteriorate, and any update on whether a shuttle might visit again?
No, there's nothing new on that. We've been concentrating on this particular assembly flight, and we'll have further discussions in January on what their plans are on Mir, and deal with it at that time. The main thing is that the service module is continuing to make progress. They are continuing the testing process at Energia. They still plan to ship it to Baikonur in February. So I believe we still got a good shot at flying in in July, if things go well for us. But we'll fly when it's ready, and just like we'll fly the U.S. components when they're ready. And the schedule will be what it turns out to be. The main thing is to do it all in order and to do it safely and effectively.
And no new word yet on Mir's orbit, whether they're going to continue to let it drop as time goes on?
No, that's what I mean. We'll continue those discussions later after we get more detail on what it is they'd like to do, and we have a chance to assess a little more what the possibilities are.
Okay, any other questions here? We have no questions at the other NASA Field Center, so just two quick programming notes. The next in-flight event with the crew is scheduled for a little less than 3 hours from now at 8:31 p.m. Central Time this evening with the ABC and AP news organizations. And then, as mentioned earlier, tomorrow evening, the entry flight director, John Shannon, will be here to discuss the entry strategy to bring Endeavour home. And with that, we'll conclude this briefing. Thank you very much.